Hello, welcome to some bird photography. Now, I like to keep things very simple when it comes to birds, and a great starting place is manual mode, 1/1000th of a second, f5.6 or as low as your lens will go, and auto ISO. Okay, now today we've got lots of light in the sky, so I'll probably crank up my shutter speed to 2/1000ths, possibly even 4/1000ths of a second. And today I'm actually going to try out my monopod. I've got a monopod, I haven't used it for a long time, but it can be, especially with a big heavy lens. Now the cameras are nice and light these days, but lenses can get quite heavy. And I'm going to attempt a bit of video as well. So having the monopod will just hold everything nice and steady for me. Okay, so with the bee eaters, I do like to find a spot where they tend to land. There's a nice little branch just up here. You can kind of see a bit of a curve in it. Now that's the kind of branch that I want. The sun is behind us, so we're going to shoot with the sun at our back, and that's going to light up the birds for us. The last thing you want to do is shoot into the sun when it's up high. Sunrise and sunset's a different thing, you get some nice backlighting, but sun is high and harsh, so I want to shoot away from the sun to really show off all those colours in the bee eater. I know with the bee eaters, they'll find a perch, they'll go off, they'll feed, and they'll usually come back to their perch. They tend not to move around too much. In saying that, they are very flighty, but they tend to keep coming back and revisiting a very similar perch. So I'll find some perches that they're on, and we'll get set up, and hopefully, I just saw one up here before, hopefully it comes back. Okay, so we have one sitting up here, so I'm going to try and frame it up again. I want a nice clean background, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind some of those trees in the background framing up our bird. So let's have a bit of a look at what we can do with this one. So framing it up with that tree behind, a couple of little leaves in front. Just watch out for sticks in front of your subject as well. 4/1000th of a second. The sun is in and out. Because the sun is in and out, like when the sun's out, I can shoot it super fast. Now that we've got a bit of overcast, cloudy sort of a sky, I'm just going to get my shutter speed down to 2/1000ths of a second, which is still fast enough for these birds. And again, the sun comes out now, so that's all I'm really doing is I'm just changing shutter speed, and that's a good thing with auto ISO. With auto ISO, you can keep changing your shutter speed as the light comes in and out, and he just landed up there. Let the camera work out your light. With auto ISO, especially as the light keeps changing, because otherwise you're going to be fiddling with your dials all the time. Auto ISO, set your aperture, set your shutter speed, let the camera do the hard work. Okay, then all you have to do is worry about focusing, which is the hard part with birds. Okay, so as far as focus points go, I have my focus point in the middle. Okay, I don't want to take up the full screen. Leaves, anything that sort of comes in and out of the frame can sometimes mess with autofocus. I like to have my autofocus set up with the least amount of points as possible in a small cluster in the middle of the frame. And then all I'm concentrating on is trying to keep those birds in the middle of my frame. If they fly out of the frame, hopefully the eye detector will pick it up. But as a general rule, keep your points as close to the middle as you possibly can. So then your autofocus isn't off searching for something that looks like an eye or looks like a subject. Okay, so I've ditched the monopod. Monopod's good if you're just camping out, but now I want to actually go and chase the birds. Okay, so now we're going, they keep flying between the trees. There's a couple of nice ones that keep landing over here. So like that one right there. So it's a lot easier to shoot handheld than with a monopod. Okay, and I think that'll do us for this video. So what we'll do now is let's go into Lightroom, have a bit of a play around with the images, and I'll show you how we can bring out all that colour and all that detail out of the birds. And I'll show you how I go about editing my wildlife photos. Now onto the editing side of things, and what we're going to do is just bring out some detail in our birds. Look, raw files are just flat, okay? These birds have lots of beautiful colours, so we want to bring out all that colour from the bird, and we're just going to crop it in. As I mentioned in the video, I do like to have a centre focus point. The big advantage of having a centre focus point is we can then crop and we can compose in post. Now, if you're trying to compose a shot while a bird's in flight, good luck, okay? It's not easy to do. You can anticipate which way the bird's going to fly, but generally, if you anticipate that they're going to fly to the right, they'll fly to the left. Okay, so by keeping your bird in the middle of the frame, we can then crop the image to frame it up how we want it. Okay, so let's go back to that first image. Okay, so here's our first image, and I'll show you what I mean by using the crop to compose. To be fair, when birds are sitting still, it is quite easy to compose them a little better. And I did have some, eventually I did start to recompose to get the bird looking out into the open space. So if they're sitting nice and still, then you can compose a shot a little bit better. But for the majority of the time, get them in the middle of the frame, okay? Get them in the middle of your frame, worry about composition later. Trying to compose birds, especially birds in flight, is very hard to do. Okay, so as you can see, we weren't in super close, so all I'm going to do is just going to crop it in a little bit, okay? And I do like my birds or animals looking into space. Okay, so in other words, I don't want to crop it up this way and include all of these leaves over here. I want them looking into some space. Okay, so generally I would go over here, but let's get in nice and tight. Okay, I also want to include some of these leaves just to add a bit of green to the image. So what I'm going to do is let's get in as tight as we possibly can, maybe just sort of offset them a little bit so they are still looking into a little bit of space. So somewhere around about there. Okay, so then we've got plenty of space up here that the birds are looking into. Okay, so that's what I mean by crop to compose after you've got the shot. I know a lot of people talk about this adaptive color. I'm not a fan of the adaptive color. It's very hit and miss, okay? I don't like hit and miss. I like to just, Adobe Landscape, especially for birds, it brings out all that color, okay? The Adobe Landscape preset or profile is very good. Now with this image, I want to keep all the blue in the sky and I want to keep the blue in the water. In fact, what I might even do is include a little bit more water, and we'll just straighten our horizon a bit as well, just so we can see that they're at the beach. Okay, so we've got the ocean in the background, we've got a nice blue sky and some green. I just like to have some green in there just to make it look nice. So first thing I want to do is bring up my shadows. So I don't touch my exposure at this stage. We'll get to exposure soon, but what I want to do is get as much detail into those birds as possible without going all the way. Okay, I'd never, very rarely take my shadows to 100%. We're just going to bring it up a little bit, somewhere around about 50%. And same with my blacks. I'm actually going to bring up my blacks a bit, so then we can start to see some of the detail in their faces. Okay, so now I'll bring up my exposure until we're sort of starting to see the birds a bit clearly. Okay, so it is all about the bird, not worried about my background just yet. Let's get our birds where we want them. Maybe add a little bit of contrast, so somewhere around about there. Okay, so that's my main priority at this stage, getting those birds looking nice. Okay, so that looks pretty good there. Now, this is where we have a few different options. The option that I like to use is we're going to come up to our masking tools. We're going to select our subject. Works really well with bird photography, especially if you've separated your background from your birds. Selecting a subject, it does a really good job. Okay, so Lightroom does a great job. And as you can see, it's done an almost perfect mask. There's a little bit over here that we can deal with. So if we just come up to subtract with a brush, and then we can just paint over those areas we don't want to affect. There's a little bit there up on that stick. It doesn't have to be super accurate. So somewhere around about there. Now I've already adjusted my birds, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to invert this mask, so then it's only affecting the background. And then what I'm going to do is if I just bring my exposure down a little bit, now we can start to bring some of that blue back into our background. Now don't go too far, then it's going to look very unrealistic. So subtlety is the key. Bring down our background a little bit, boost the contrast, okay? That's going to bring out some color in our background. You'll probably even take down the highlights a little bit. That'll just sort of soften the sky. Maybe take the whites down a little bit, and we'll deal with the whites later. Okay, so just now we're bringing some color back into that sky. Okay, and to be honest, that's about all I really need to do. Okay, if we have a look at our before and our after, okay, we've brought out some detail in those birds. Okay, now because they are a rainbow bee eater, let's enhance the colour. So I don't touch saturation, I like to use my vibrance, and again, I wouldn't go too far. Once you go too far, it's oversaturated. Okay, so vibrance you can kind of push up to around about that 30%, and that's looking nice. Crop first, work on your subject first, and then darken the background if you need to darken your background. Okay, so again, before, after. Okay, so we've just brought out some detail in those birds. Okay, if you find that it's overdone, which I generally do, I'll usually have a bit of a look and I'll think, okay, now they're a bit too overdone. So all we need to do is come back to our masking. If we select that mask with the background, just start to dial it back a bit. Okay, so just bring up the exposure a little bit, maybe take the contrast down a little bit. Okay, and you can even just use your amount slider, and that will just, so that's with no adjustment, and then you can sort of slowly crank it up, okay, to get it somewhere a little bit more natural. Okay, so I think that's probably a bit better now. If we look at before and after, we've brightened the whole image and brought out a bit of detail in those birds. As a final touch, depending on how high your ISO is, you can use the denoise. Okay, the denoise is very good for wildlife. It will retain all the details in those feathers. It does a really good job. Now this was shot at ISO 200, that's fine. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. Again, this isn't so much of a bird, it's more of a environmental portrait. Okay, so I want to show off the blue sky, I want to show off the water. You know, I'd even be inclined to just crop even less out. Okay, show a bit more of our background, just so we can see that these birds are at the beach. Okay, so something a bit like that even. We'll get onto the bird photos next. Okay, so let's have a look at this image now. Now, this one is all about the bird. Okay, so now we can, and as I said before, keep it in the center of your frame, because now we can crop to compose. Okay, now I could have given it some space to fly into when I composed the shot, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. I've got so many shots where birds have flown out of the frame, and to me that sort of kills a shot. If the beak is out of the frame or a wing is out of the frame, I'd much rather have my bird in the center of the frame than try and compose it correctly and then miss a part of the bird. Okay, so, and that's the power of cropping. We can now put this and we can give it some space to fly into. So somewhere like that looks quite nice. Okay, so similar to what we did before, but this time, look, we had a nice blue sky. And if I crank up my vibrance, you'll see that that sky is actually quite blue. Now, again, raw files. Raw files are flat. Find where your color is, and what we're going to do is enhance the color that's there, okay? So again, I'm going to use my Adobe Landscape. That's a good starting point. So similar to before, we're just going to bring up my shadows, not all the way, bring it up by around about 50%. Bring up the blacks just a little bit. And again, we could probably just bring up our exposure a little bit. Exactly the same as before. What I'm going to do is you can select your sky, but I just find selecting subject usually works better. Let's try the sky. Okay, so the sky has done a fairly good job. Okay, so I sort of alternate between selecting the sky and selecting the subject. In this case, if you've got leaves and things like that, the sky can be a bit hit and miss. But in this case, it's selected the sky quite well. And then I'm just going to bring it now. Remember that we've got all that color in our sky. Okay, so I'm not going to crank up the saturation, but that's kind of where I'm thinking of going. I want to bring back some of that blue in the sky. So again, if we just take down our exposure just a little bit, boost our contrast, and we can even bring down the temperature a little bit, and that's going to bring some blue back into that sky. Again, we just want to do it fairly subtly, and maybe just boost our saturation a little bit. So somewhere around about there. And again, I don't like to over edit my photos. Okay, now I know I did another video on over editing, and that's to sort of give you an idea to play around. Finally, let's just crank up our overall vibrance just to bring out the color in that bird. Okay, so again, if we look at our before and after, it's made a big difference. Okay, so that's how the bird looks. Anyone who's seen the rainbow bee eaters, that's how they look. Okay, very bright, colourful bird. They don't look like that. Okay, that's just a raw file, and that's what your photos are going to look like coming out of a camera. So somewhere around about there, might even just brighten it up even more. So somewhere around about there. And again, the AI denoise or the denoise does a fantastic job. And finally, if we have a look at our histogram, we can see that we can still push it a little bit further. So rather than pushing our exposure up even further, what we can do is come down to our tone curve. And if we grab the top part of this tone curve and just pull that back, and now I'm just watching my histogram. So as I pull this tone curve, I'm watching my histogram until we're borderline blowing out. If I put that clipping warning on, we'll see it a bit easier. But now we can just brighten up the whole image until we start to make everything just a little bit brighter. Okay. Now, if you do like this content, please give it a thumbs up. I don't know whether it helps or not. Feel free to subscribe. Hopefully my next video will be a live stream. I'm planning on plenty more live streams coming up. So if you subscribe, you'll get notified when I'm going to go live. That's about it for this video. That's how I do it. Okay, I don't like to over edit. I'm not bringing in colors that weren't there. I'm not bringing in light sources that weren't there. That's kind of how I process my birds, how they capture it in camera and then just enhance it a bit, bring out that color, because these birds are very bright and colorful, and that's how we need to show them off. So that's it for this video. Again, I hope you did like it, and hopefully I will see you sooner rather than later. All right, see you in the next one. Okay, they're fairly used to people around here, so they're not too bad. It's quite a busy spot, people walking past, walking their dogs. So the birds are used to people. Okay, there's one down a bit further that's been there for a while, so we're just going to sneak down. There's a bee eater right behind me as I speak. Let me just quickly get a shot.